Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for third grade's curriculum night. At this point, we're just going to talk through a lot of the grade level stuff that might not have been covered in your teachers' classrooms. I think we're starting on slide, I think it's 9.
It's a little weird house.
I'll do that. Just hold, please. Keep on. To the ELA slide. There. All right, so I'm going to start off talking about ELA, English Language Arts. As you guys know, in third grade, there's the Literacy Act. We follow the Alabama Forces Study Standards, but the Literacy Act basically says that at the end of third grade, your child has to either be reading on grade level or above grade level. And that's measured by that ACAP test that they take at the end of the year, specifically the comprehension piece. And if they do not pass that comprehension piece at the end of the year, then there is a possibility that they retain in third grade. However, there are measures in place that can stop that from happening. So they might have to go to summer reading camp if they don't pass, and then they can take the assessment again. We also collect portfolios on them throughout the year in case maybe the child just has a bad day, and we have all of the documentation from the school year to back up that really they are on grade level. So that's kind of the big thing in third grade, is making sure that they're prepared for that ACAP test at the end of the year because of the Literacy Act, and so the comprehension piece is really, really important. And so we just want to make sure that they all get to that point so that we don't have to worry about that when it comes to that time. So there's also the good causes exemption for students with IEPs or 504s or ELL students, so hopefully that doesn't happen. We also have a new phonics program this year. It's called 95%. This is where the spelling and dictation assessments come from. You will not receive an actual list of the words for spelling. The students are assessed on the skill being taught. So for example, if the skill is vowel teams, then they're going to learn about vowel teams all week, and then their spelling test will be based on the skill. They're not just memorizing a set of words. They have to actually put the skill that we've been practicing into practice. So if you read the parent guides, I think we're all including those on the newsletters each week. Then the parent guide will kind of go through with you what the skill is that we're working on that week and ways that you can practice with them at home. Each week they'll have the spelling test, it's 10 words, and then they'll have 2 dictation sentences where they have to write the actual sentence that we read on the test. We also have a new reading curriculum. It's called Open Court. It's similar to Wonders, but not exactly the same. Each week they're going to have a reading test that's on the story that we actually covered in class all week. So they'll have a test, it's multiple choice with some writing and short answer thrown in. It's going to test vocabulary, it's going to test their comprehension of the story that we read that week, and it's also going to test some of the grammar that we've covered that week as well. And the format is similar to the Wonders test that students have taken in the past, but it also covers a little bit more, and it's on the story that they actually read that week. And then every 6 weeks, they're going to have a unit assessment, and the unit assessment is going to be after we've covered all of the skills in 1 unit of Open Court, and on the unit test, they're going to take a test that's a cold read, meaning that they've never seen the story before, and that way we can assess their comprehension on something that they haven't actually read with the teacher. So for the unit test, it's going to be laid out very similar to the weekly test, but it's a story that they've never seen before.
Hello. Okay, I'm talking about math. We have a Literacy Act that is playing along. I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm one of those on the Literacy Act, but as you see here, We do also use Alabama Course of Study standards for math as well. Our curriculum is still Big Ideas. We're still rocking in Big Ideas. We use a math workshop model, whole group time, including small group time, centers. We all do things a little bit differently, but we are all using this model. Big push on fluency, especially multiplication. Obviously, we want them to be fluent in addition, subtraction as well. But when it comes to ACAP, we've got to know those multiplication facts quickly. And we do have a variety of weekly assessments, whether it's a chapter or unit, to monitor their progress each week. Science, we really do our best to incorporate science and social studies into our reading block. We do have some things that we can use to help us do that. We have anti-science that we prepared and adopted with STEM scopes. I know some of us may use like some mystery science every once in a while for a fun activity. So the main goal is for us to study science. We have Alabama students in solid foundation in science and engineering. Like I said, we do our best to integrate that each week. But we're trying to hit those main topics too. And social studies integrated oftentimes during that other subject area discussion in K3. We have Studies Weekly, which is a state-approved resource, and it's used by teachers to hit those social studies standards as we can.
Sorry. We don't know.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the digital literacy and just kind of incorporating those standards into our curriculum, because obviously we are moving towards putting digital components in most all aspects of education, right? And so just making sure that we're also integrating those in the classroom is very important to build those strong digital citizens. Here are some helpful resources. I think most of us send this slideshow to parents, so you will have access to this. These are just some helpful resources to kind of connect that homeschool and give you some ideas for how to experience this with your student. And then also we have access to GoGuardian, which kind of allows us to view the screens of our students and just ensure that they are on task, and just make sure that the items that are being viewed are things that we have asked for them to be on. Looking at assessment is a really big word, right? We talk about it all the time. We have just completed our beginning of the year assessments for the most part, and we start with our iReady to just kind of get that baseline, where are our students at in their learning, and kind of set those goals in place to determine where we're trying to get them to. M-Class is going to be our DIBEL status, so just understanding their knowledge of phonics. And then obviously we have the ACAP, which is emphasized in 3rd grade, so we can talk about that quite a bit. And then our formative assessments are the assessments that are happening at the classroom level and just typically on a weekly basis.
In 3rd grade, we shift. I think in 2nd grade, they only had standards-based report cards. And in 3rd grade, we are rating them on a scale of 1 to 4 on specific standards based on how well they understood. Last year when we did this, it was very difficult to get a 4, so when you get a report card, do not freak out if your student doesn't have all 4s. Typically, we don't view them as having a 4 until around the end of the year. They also receive number grades. 70% of their reading grade will come from those open court and the open court comprehension tests that Ms. Mullen talked about. And then 30% of their ELA grade comes from the spelling tests and grammar grades that we may take. In math, we are using 60% of the the grade comes from assessments, our big idea assessments from the curriculum. And then 40% of their grade comes from application, performance tasks, and quizzes. Days to expect report cards, October 13th, January 8th, March 20th, and May 22nd. Progress reports are sent home every 3 weeks. These are dates to expect them. Obviously, sometimes printers break, internet doesn't work, so it may not be on this exact day, but these are the dates to expect those. Parent guides are available to help you if you ever have questions about scales and those kinds of things. We can answer those throughout the year. So.
All right, so I'm here to talk about specials. We're going to start with the counseling program. For third grade, we have Miss Mayo. Miss Mayo is always available for support to our students. She also comes in and does counseling sessions as a whole special time. So she'll come in for like 30 minutes and she'll do some activities and just remind the kids that she is there to help them. Ms. Mayo also can be contacted if you need a one-on-one, if you feel like your child needs a one-on-one support with Ms. Mayo. I have included her contact information here below. Okay, library media. So you guys have probably passed the library multiple times. Not only is the library open for the kids to check out books every day, but she also does different kind of activities as well with the kids. So she really does incorporate a lot of engaging opportunities. And they have actually incorporated, is it a makers? Yeah, a makerspace as well, so that's new to Midtown this year, so that'll be a lot of fun. All right, art. So the kids have specials Monday through Friday for 30 minutes. Art is one of those specials. Mr. New is our art teacher. He's great. He incorporates a lot of engaging art activities, and he does follow the Alabama course of study for arts education.
Okay, so continuing with specials, we have music. That's also every week in a little bit of music for 30 minutes. Miss Morton is our music teacher, and she's awesome. So they use instruments as a hand-on approach to teaching music and other programs to kind of integrate music into all of our other subjects. We also have PE every day, so students go to PE for 30 minutes each day. Coach Gardner and Coach Hostler are awesome. And those are our PE coaches, and they do a great job getting the kids moving and taking kind of a physical break during the day. So they provide team building opportunities among the students and allow them to develop communication skills. And we have Spanish also. So they give students a positive exposure to the language and culture of Spanish-speaking countries, and all students go to Spanish for 30 minutes once a week. Okay, and STEM. So STEM is a new special this year, and all of the kids are really excited about STEM. So they have STEM class once a week for 30 minutes, pre-K to 5th grade, and this is a time where students can have hands-on explorations with various technologies, and they can kind of do some out-of-the-box science projects to further develop their science learning.
Alright, we have a gifted program that is done by Ruby Tibbs, and it's geared toward that they are checked and tested in 2nd grade based on their ACAP scores. And many of you may have already been contacted, but 2nd graders are tested with gifted specialties that are observed through the class. Sometimes teachers see kids that kind of think out of the box and do things in a higher order thinking skill or whatever, and we can refer to Ms. Tibbs, and then she does a test on them and, gets with us on things that we can do. We we also go to Ms. Tibbs for, ideas on things to do with kids that are finished early, that to challenge them in other ways, and it's a really good program. She does definitely work with general teachers on things that we can do with the kids in the classroom. Attendance. Attendance is very important. Daily attendance is kept every day, and it is important for academic growth. Should your child miss due to illness or anything like that, please contact your teacher. We can kind of work with you on getting you their assignments, things that we would like for you to do with them while they are at home when they feel better. But when you, this is kind of one of the important things, if they do go to the doctor or dentist or anything like that, and you keep them out of school, you need to send a note to the attendance office. It's the MTES attendance. If you send it to us, they're gonna ask us to send it back home to you, so it has to be done electronically. After 3 unexcused absences, you will be notified via letter. After 5 unexcused absences, the parent will receive a second letter notifying you of a meeting with the school administration. After 7 unexcused absences, the parents will receive a third letter to notify you of a meeting with the district attendance officer. And after 10 unexcused absences, it's a truancy court referral that will be made based upon attendance concerns. Midtown PTA, please try to join PTA. You can go into the midtownmemberhub.com. Do it that way. Our fundraiser is where we get our money for our school, and it starts September 13th, and most of it is done through donations, no selling. And the PTA website is www.midtownespta.com. Website, there's also a PTA and Midtown Parent website that you may join on Facebook, and please come volunteer anytime. We'd love to have you. And thank you for coming.
I didn't call Rollins, I would do it.
Is there anyone that has any questions? Yes, ma'am.
The unexcused, was that for the whole year?
It is it's on the whole year.
The unexcused.
Unexcused absences is based on the whole year. 10 parent notes. Yeah.
If you check them out at daytime during the day, is that considered a tardy? If they're not here on time, you have to check them out for appointment, is that still a tardy?
I think it's an excused tardy. When they check out for an appointment, it's considered still a tardy. Yes, but it's an excused.
Yeah.
Yeah, any doctor's note is excused, at any time, just make sure you submit that note as far as like a full day or a tardy. We just need that note from the doctor indicating that you have an appointment. You can have as many of those as you would like, although just an awareness, it's not everything, but it does certainly matter. Our, state report card that you've seen last year that we got an A on, and I'm hopeful and pretty confident that we'll get an A again this upcoming fall. Regardless of, this is kind of crazy, but it's just the truth. Regardless of the reason for the absence, once your child gets to 18, which that is growing, that's a lot of absences, that goes against our school. So just something for you to know, you have 10 parent notes to use any way you like, and you have as many sick as you like. You can't help it if your child's sick, we're aware of that. But just so you know, regardless of the reason, if you approach 18, that goes against our school. It gets points deducted because, as we all know, attendance is so important for them. And 3rd grade is such a crucial grade level, we don't want them to miss and we can avoid it. But thank you guys so much for coming. This is a fabulous team. You are in great hands. They are some of the hardest workers I've ever seen, and I love each of them dearly. And trust me when I say they provide excellent instruction every single day. I don't think these ladies take a second off. That's actually what we have to tell them more, is give a little break. But they are fabulous. Your children are fabulous, in great hands. Thank you for sharing them with us. I always say that's not something we take lightly, and I mean that. But I hope you guys have a great night. If you have any extra remaining questions, you can come ask me, Ms. Cecil, who you're used to being a third grade teacher. She's now an assistant principal. Ms. Stewart, our reading coach, is here. Ms. Mayo, I just want to highlight her real quick. She's a counselor for this grade level. She's also a parent, but she's a counselor. So, yeah, any questions, anytime, we're an open book and we're here to help. Thank you guys. Have a great night.